at Excuse the Duval and Me at the Cookbook Restaurant and Lounge here at 1827 North Pearl Street. We are glad to be back here. We're here every Tuesday from about 8:30 to about 10. And we would love to have you here with us in the live audience. And we are going to go ahead and jump right in and ask someone to give us a prayer. Is it going to be you, Cap? Nope. Who's going to do the prayer?
Nah, I got you.
Okay.
Bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, we come to you humbly and thank you for yet again another opportunity to voice our opinions on sports and also the community of Jacksonville. We thank you for blessing us with the talent and power to come here and all of the other blessings that we pray over our families collectively. In Jesus' name, amen.
In Jesus' name, amen.
So
okay, so we will introduce the cast, the panel here. We have Jorge, we have Cap One, we have Jay the Great, and we have Camo, and I'm your host here, Sage, and please join us and follow us on all social media. On YouTube, it's Excuse the Duval and Me. On Instagram, it's Excuse the Duval and Me. And
go
on
subscribe
Facebook,
to also
say
to
again?
YouTube. Go subscribe to the YouTube.
Yes, please.
We have
We are
uploads
all
usually
things Duval.
Friday, day after the show, or the week of the show. By Friday, they're usually up there, so go check them out. You can see all the episodes. I think we have like up to 20 episodes at this time. So
Yeah.
Close
like
to
and
it.
subscribe. Appreciate it.
Yes. So, guys, let's see here where we're at. Did anybody have anything specific that they wanted to bring up? Somebody feels slighted.
oh Lord,
Camo
I'm
feels
sorry.
slighted.
Camo has a problem with one Sean Carter, and this being Black History Month. You know, I gonna go ahead and let him have the floor and ask his question that he wanted to ask.
Go ahead, Camo.
So
I know, bro. But
we sit up here, we chastise everybody who speaks out or do certain things, right? So if we're going to punish one and demonize one or say that, oh, he did this for that reason, this, that, and third. And then
Give
we
us
got
an
a
example of who you're talking about.
man, ask your question, man.
Colin Kaepernick. My
Okay.
boy said, you told my boy, we're past kneeling, so what next? And then when the anthem comes on, you chilling, you sitting down.
He
So
said
my
he,
thing is like this.
he was the producer of the halftime show.
I get it, but
Bing.
lead by example. and
End the
stand-
argument.
Yeah, but my thing is this: if you gonna say something, stand by your word, bro.
He
What did he do?
did.
What did he do wrong?
I'm gonna keep sipping.
So you
I'ma
wanted
keep
him
sipping
just to
this
stand up,
lemonade.
just so you wouldn't
I
have
ain't
nothing to
gonna.
say to him?
We already know how this
Yeah.
went from the
Why?
phone conversations.
Go
Do we
ahead.
really got to go?
But
there?
this is my point. The same person that did sit down or kneel and didn't say anything, scrutinized. But now that he's in the billionaires club, he doesn't get the same attention the other dude got. But you the one saying that.
Actually,
That's
he
so-
did.
He definitely
Fox
did.
and all the conservatives came out. They were the first ones to
Bashed
roast
him.
him and bash him and his wife, called him spoiled, said they need to go to another country, all kind of hate. And they were also the first ones that when he said, I was simply sitting down watching the show. It wasn't nothing politically motivated behind it. It was what it was. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, to me, at the end of the day, who cares? Either way. If
It
he was trying to get something started, I mean, and move the needle, he's out
Travis
there in the
Kelce
public.
took a knee, did he not?
I mean, I
just want to know how we keep
don't
getting
understand
back
what
to
the
this
big deal
subject.
was.
My man said we passed kneeling. I thought we all
Yes.
understood that when he said that it did not directly mean actually taking a knee. It's the action of protesting and protesting and protesting.
That's
and
what he
we
meant.
ain't getting
You
no
knew that.
bag at the end of all this protesting. That's what he's saying when he's like, we passed kneeling. Yeah, you know what? We got our voices heard. We got our 10 cents of fame in the picture. People know, yes, there's brutality in black communities all across this nation. Cap did his job as a activist.
To
Now,
get it
what he
started.
chose to do as a football player on the other end,
It was booty.
hey, I can't knock you for that. That's
was
your
booty,
choice.
man.
You felt like the
What-
NFL
Or just
was
to change the
conspired
subject,
against
since
you.
we on Colin Kaepernick,
Ah.
you seen how the XFL tried to give him a contract, and you seen how he tried to
Booty.
boost it up. boost it up. You want to talk about that?
Booty.
Since we doing that.
That man don't want to play football no more.
I
Point
look
blank
at it,
period.
bro.
I
He
said
can't
that a couple
love
of
the
weeks
game.
ago.
I look at it.
That's not for the love of the
I look
game.
at
He
it
done.
like I
Check.
look at it like this. He wasn't the
done.
only one. He wasn't the only one to turn it down. Didn't Tebow turn down the contract as well?
Tebow's
Why?
also playing minor league baseball.
Yeah, because he's getting a bigger bag playing baseball. The minimum contract there
What
is
is your
$1
point,
million.
my guy?
What that got to do with
What
it?
that
You
gotta do
just
with it?
crying
What that
about
gotta
you
do with
want an
cap?
opportunity. They
I'm sorry,
gave you
you
an
can't paint a
opportunity.
basketball
What you
player,
mean?
baseball
The reason
player.
why Tim Tebow quit was because they said he couldn't play what? Quarterback. And everybody know that he got kicked out for being a known Christian. That had nothing to do with that.
That man couldn't play quarterback.
No, that had nothing.
Bro, he spent.
Blake
He was
Bortles
Blake
can't play
Bortles.
quarterback.
And
He
where
still
he
got a
at?
job, but
And
he
where
ain't
he
talking
at?
about
He's
He
a
a
more
backup.
famous
Tim
Blake
Tebow
Bortles.
did not
LA.
want to be a backup. Plain and simple.
Because that's what was going to happen
He
to
didn't want to
him.
play backup, but he
Facts.
could play starter. He could be a starter in the XFL.
Man, stop that, man.
Nah, why would you want to be a star in the XFL if you're already moving up in the minor leagues and potentially having a chance to get real big dollars?
He
in
said
the
it's about
major
his
league?
platform. That's what he said.
And I agree with Tebow. Not saying I'm not trying to make this a black and white thing, but
No, he trying
this is
to.
Tebow
Ooh.
trying to do.
You.
Tebow got
I'm
bigger
not.
things going
Yeah.
on than playing
I'm
for the
not making it
XFL.
that.
Bring it
Hold
up,
on,
Tebow.
hold on. You
I
got a
named
man
another-
talking
I
now.
named another high-profile quarterback that got put out the league, not because of his talent.
Yes,
but
he got put out because of his
but
talent,
it's my
bro.
point.
Oh, you're right. It
Everybody
wasn't
keeps
because of his
saying-
talent. It was
he
his
beat
lack
the-
thereof
he beat
of
the
talent.
Pittsburgh Steelers, the #1 defense in the league at the time
Blake,
of the playoffs.
Blake Bortles went all the way to the AFC Championship game.
And he's still garbage.
And he still got a contract.
He's still
A
trash.
backup.
Tebow
Tebow
chose
didn't
to
want to
be
be
a
a
backup.
backup.
Tebow didn't want to be a backup.
This is my point. Did he or did he not win games?
It don't
He
matter.
was still trash. Winning games does not
They're
make you a
just
good
now,
quarterback.
Bro, they're just now
Guess
showing
what?
respect to the running
Your
Colt
boy
QB,
over
bro.
at
You see what
Baltimore
Lamar
won a
Jackson
lot
had to
of
go to?
games. But that's him winning is not what makes him good.
I understand that, but
Next
people
question,
look. My thing
Madam
is this:
Sage.
what did
Next question,
What-
Madam
No.
Sage.
No,
what did
finish your point and then we'll move
what
to the
did-
next question.
And I'm gonna go back to his main line. What made those organizations sell out seats? The Jets wasn't selling no seats. Denver wasn't selling no seats. But when this man came, guess what? He sold out stadiums. He packed out stadiums. Everywhere he went, it was a sold out game. So my thing is this: if this man bringing money to the table, that was the only reason why they was there anyway. That's my point. If it made dollar, like you said, about $1, and everybody up here always say, man, if they did this about $1, this, that, and third, why they ain't do it? Well, why they didn't do it if he's bringing in the money? Why
'Cause
didn't
they
he
got enough
remain
money to
doing
tell
his
you
thing?
no for your money.
Huh?
It ain't
'Cause
about
they
the
got
money.
enough money to tell
Nah,
you
they
no
Y'all
to
got
gotta
that
the
let
money.
Camel have his word and the last say. Jorge, what did you have to say?
Never.
You wanted to
Oh,
bring something up.
Yeah, I just wanted to point it out. I feel a little bit of segregationness up here. It feel like it's the hairs versus the not having hairs around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it would do. Yeah, you got a little. Okay, so you ain't feeling that? It's just me. Oh, okay.
You know
That's
what?
all.
You know what?
Shout out
You
to
know
The
what I'm
Rock.
saying? That's what
now
I'm
that
saying. You know, they
say
got
that,
they got their hair over there. You
And
know what
no
I'm
hair
saying? And
over
no
there.
hair over there. I'm just
Okay.
saying, it's always like this.
Listen, did you have something, Jay?
No, ma'am.
All right.
It's a
Well,
grown
Go
we are
Dogs.
going to go. What did we say?
Jigga man, we still rocking with you. Rock Nation.
that's
we
facts.
need
Yes. Okay. You were saying I'm black, y'all. Why doesn't Duval and the NFL honor our local legends like Bullet Bob Hayes more, the only person to win a gold medal and a Super Bowl ring while changing the
Facts.
game? Do you agree or not agree? Does anyone
he
here
actually-
know who they are? Does
Bob
everyone
Hayes?
here know who he is?
I
If you
do.
don't know who Bob Hayes from and you grew up in Jacksonville, you got a serious issue, bro.
I mean,
Serious issue.
I mean, going to the track meet, being a part of the track meet. going
That's
to
a major
range,
track meet.
it's
That's
a
not.
major-
That's not no small
Yeah,
time
At all.
thing.
Yeah,
Like
it-
you
it's-
got cats from
it's-
Miami-Dade down here all over the state.
It's big time, but you got to understand the city that we live in. You know, only certain
That's what I was
people are
gonna say.
recognized. I mean, I want to say in the early 90s, they just started recognizing their black World War II heroes that went in there and came back alive. My grandfather was one of them. They just had started recognizing those people who were pillars in their community and started a community. You know what I mean? So they don't really acknowledge us like that.
I
But
disagree.
don't that fall on us though?
That
Yeah,
fall on
I
us.
was finna go
Like
there.
for instance, at Reigns, it's named after Bullet Bob, but Bob never went to
Matthew
Reigns.
Gilbert. He
You
went to
feel
Matthew
me?
Gilbert,
He went to
but we
Matthew
got him up
Gilbert. You
there.
feel me? So it's like, when I was going to Reigns, they made sure we knew who, what, why. You know what I mean? What was the significance of Bob Hayes and the whole track meet and why
But that
we
goes.
did it. And it's like now
that-
it's like we don't really pass that down to the kids. We usually blame that on the schools. Like why the schools don't tell? They not gonna tell them. I don't think.
That goes with preparation and how the people teach things, bro. Like they have guidelines in school, bro. And a lot of those teachers follow those strict guidelines, bro.
I understand that, and
Yeah,
that's why I say a lot of it fall back on us at home. We gotta take
I was
time
gonna say
to
it start at home,
start
man.
imparting that pride
Well,
in
you-
our kids
Yeah,
and
you
stuff. I
have to make
think
'em feel
that
pride.
in a
Your-
bigger
your-
segment leads to
yourself,
a lot of problems we have
Your
with the
emergency
youth.
family or right now family, you need to make sure they know about Black history, the one that we're not taught in school, because in school I didn't learn half of the stuff I learned off of Google and just reading by myself, So it's always good to teach your children to be proud of who they are and the color of their skin, because that's who they're gonna be forever.
Yeah, I mean that.
But Bob Hayes is another story. I don't. He should, in fact, be
Yeah.
talked about in Jacksonville
all the
a
time,
lot.
bro. Like
Why don't he
Like
have
I
a
said,
parade here? You go to other major
You know what I
cities
mean?
and they
That's what I was
major
gonna
athletes
say.
get parades or
But didn't he
celebrations,
play in the NFL too?
honorable days.
yes, that's what I'm, bro.
Yeah, he won a
game,
Super Bowl.
game, bro.
Super Bowl. And
He
the-
won. Bob
When
Hayes was
Bob
one of the fastest
he went
running
to
backs
three,
ever.
He went to 3 Pro Bowls. He led the league. He was the first Randy Moss.
Yes.
The whole reason why they got a cover 2 defense, Bob Hayes, because he just kept running past their cornerbacks. So it was like, man, we need a way to stop Cat. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they started just playing back and playing zone. That's why they created the zone. You feel
Bob
me?
Hayes.
That's crazy.
Nobody
Duval
tells you that, though,
County.
you feel me?
We on the map.
I
We
was
been
mad
that
Emmett
way.
wears number. Why do Emmett got number 22?
Yes.
That's Bob number.
Well, no,
All day.
because that leads into the next question. Where's the pride? What's that?
The pride comes from us.
I was agreeing with Cal.
No, that where's the pride? There's an old saying that it takes a village. Why is there like no local film projects or anything going on regarding Black and African American legends from Duval, like Bob Hayes, Al Denton? Does anybody know who the Al Denton is?
Yes.
Or Artist Gilmore and et cetera. So
Yeah, it's a
we
lot.
have people who could do stories on local legends here that
We could do a 30 for 30 just on Jacksonville.
We
and
have-
how many people Range done produced.
We
more or
have
less, man.
five. We have 5 area talents that's going to the combine in April. Right now, all over Reigns. I think we got 2 from Reigns. We got 1 from Oak Leaf Plantation. We got it's a lot of area products from here. Yeah, so we have plenty of
TZ,
talent.
shout out to Boogie.
Right. We got we got plenty of talent here. You got the guys from Range, you got guys from Reebok Bowls. Much respect to the areas of guys that have paid their dues, got there, made names for themselves. Gus Scott, Lito Shepard, Jabbar Gaffney, Brian Dawkins, Gold Jacket.
What's the point, man?
Huh?
What's your point?
My point about it is we got real, talent here that went off and did great things that don't get talked about as much as other cities do. Like you hear other people talk about California and their high schools, but there's guys that's here in the city. A lot of them done went to pro and done got forgotten about already, and they've been there and done great things.
Okay, so to answer your question, the why is because of framing. We don't frame ourselves correctly. We allow the local media to frame how we view our own communities. So in terms of promoting ourselves and promoting our community and having our own agenda for our community, ATL popped because they had their own agendas for their communities. That's why they popped the way they did. We don't have an agenda for our own community. It gets developed by who's ever in your local leadership or who's ever playing for the football stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when you go lower level than that, it's who's playing for the Giants, who's on your radio, who's DJing the clubs. And none of these cats work together very well to broadcast a message of community. I'll say it like this. The last time I heard about Bob Hayes on the radio was We Them Boys talking about it. And that's a shame. That's a new radio station that came in. It's been just that long since I've heard 93.3 even talk about being at the Bob Hayes. Now, I remember there was a time growing up where they were promoting Bob. And like, you could not go down Jacksonville, anywhere in Jacksonville, when Bob Hayes' time came on and not hear about it on the radio. And like every major DJ was there.
I just think it's a poor job by the city in general because we don't know when anything is coming here unless it's on Facebook.
Right. We don't promote it right.
Yeah, I think about it. Last time I recall something getting hyped up was recently with the Northwest Classic, and that was what? Because it was the 50th. But
It
other
wasn't
than
even as
that,
hyped up as
yeah.
it was any other year, though.
I mean, it's just so weird because, you know, especially us, that was the neighborhood. It was right around the corner, and I basically could go by there and be like, oh, the day Bob Hayes, you know. When I was a kid, that never happened. You would always, like, you get
knew.
tired of hearing about it.
It was
You know what I mean?
It was sponsored by Church's Chicken at one point, but you know the same black owners that own Church's were local people. They don't own it anymore.
Yeah.
So a lot of that has to do with it too, with how they went about getting it out to the community as well. That's another thing
Yeah,
that's,
but like
that goes
I
behind
know
it.
Jenkins right around the corner, right there on New Kings. They got them boys. They sponsor the football team. Like we was talking about one time, Fournette had to come in and, you know, give money. That's just sad. Where's Jacksonville, like the Jaguars, like what Sheen did, and when it partnered over there. I know Sheen actually played for the Jaguars, but I don't know, Jaguars. It might be to your benefit. Reigns produce a lot of cats.
Right.
Maybe you know, get endeared in their heart.
And
Message.
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like I say, it's certain schools that need that for real, but a lot of public schools don't get the same funding these private schools get. Your nieces and a lot of these other.
That's
schools.
why I make a big deal out of the fact that Reigns won 3 state titles in their district being a public school. You know, a lot of people take it for granted. Oh, they're like Bowles, but it's much easier when you're a Bowles, Trinity Christian.
Right, because you go get the best
You
time.
go get it. You know what I mean? We know what
Right.
y'all doing.
Right.
Right.
Every
Under the
time.
hood. Oh, okay. Give me
Yeah, let me get him. Yep,
Give
him.
Oh, you see Ray Ray running from
He
the
go-
police? Oh,
yeah.
yeah, he's a
Him.
fast one. That's a
Yeah.
good
You
wide
get me?
receiver.
Yeah, I can teach him to
You
catch.
get him a tool.
There we go.
You can't teach speed.
Yeah.
Cut on the sirens, Bodog.
You know what? Don't you start in here.
Touchdown. LaRon Jenkins.
But
For
that
Bowles.
is why we're here. So, you know, to give ideas, give innovation to people's local film artists who are looking to have a project.
Oh,
Looking into local talent and as such would be a great way to
go
get into that business.
also, because I forgot that you also mentioned film. Our local talent in terms of filmmaking, comedy, artists, the people who speaking to the people, you can't be afraid to broach those subjects for trying to be commercial. Like, what's the last movie that poked holes at what's really going on in our communities? Not the fantasy of, oh, dope boy, dope girl life, or the Bonnie and Clyde story of the hood. Like, we done seen those a million times. Where's something that's really poking holes at the fabric of this community, forcing us to look at ourselves in a different perspective.
Say again?
I say actually the last time I could say was that movie that we saw, Sorry to Bother You, with your
No,
man.
that was a good movie.
Yeah.
With, what's that?
But I'm saying it was different. It wasn't on
I
the
mean,
usual
if you
boys
wanna-
in the hood,
It wasn't about
menace to society type.
Don't be a menace. That was one. I'm gonna give you one, a more recent one, that Childish Gambino show, ATL. It had a lot of
ATL.
Your man who was in
that-
ATL
that-
was in that movie
that
that
made
I'm
you
talking
really,
about.
that made you really
The
look
guy
at
who
how
played
it
Darius,
was.
he in the movie that I'm talking
Beef for
about.
Vendetta.
No, we talking
Get
about
out.
niggas.
Get out, bro. I said movies that make us look at our community different, not
What
the
is
white
wrong
people
with him,
community.
bro?
Man, that
That
man
was the
tired.
world.
Just a random stupid out there.
They
Play the zone.
They run
Don't give him that
rabbit.
shot.
I'm on offense.
He delirious over there.
But yeah,
Box out.
I'm trying to think of some other. It's a lot of shows
This is
that make you
tennis.
look at look at ourselves in a different light, but they're not really spoken
get
on
hype.
like that. Like it was a Netflix movie that I can't remember. Buddy had a flat top. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my
I
head.
think I know what you're talking about. It
But
was,
that was another movie where it was like,
yeah, I seen that recently. Like he was kind of weird, but he was like supposed to be
He
like
was
early
cool, yeah,
90s hip hop. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think
I
of the
think
name of it.
one from Netflix that made me look at things in a different perspective, although it kind of did feed into the normal stereotypes, was it was on Netflix. God, with the boys who went to jail up there in New York.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
nah
you
that
talking
yeah,
about,
I forget it.
Huh?
Nah, not
He
not
talking about the
Bowers. He
ones,
ain't
them
talking
boys
about,
that got framed
Bowers.
for
He
that
talking
Ones
about
who
rape.
the
got
boy
framed for the
framed
white
that
girl
Trump was
murder.
behind.
Yeah.
Central
pushing
Park
them.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Central Park 5.
Central Park 5. Yeah.
Mhm.
That was a good one.
That was one of the movies that make you look at it in different
you know what's
perspective
crazy,
because
bro?
you had to
The
see the
new-
Fruitvale
perspective
Station.
of.
The new thing about Malcolm X is another one too.
I haven't seen that
It's
yet.
pretty good. It's really good and informative. I advise you guys. to
But
go
that
check
ain't
out.
making us look at ourselves in
No,
in the light.
because they actually knew who did it. The black community knew who did it.
Okay,
I mean,
but
we-
see,
yeah,
that
that
don't
ain't got shit to do
change
with
the
it.
foundation of how we're being framed now. Like all these things from the past framed how we view ourselves right now into
yeah.
this today moment. So our new creators, our new artists, our new designers, the people making new movies, especially on a local level, if you really want to get people attention, you're going to have to do something that affects us on a level that makes us
That ain't
change
always
how we
gotta be
view
lit.
ourselves.
Well,
I get it.
we've had-
Ain't
But
always
what I'm
gotta be
saying
lit,
is,
popping.
the one guy who's responsible for this is the only one who went and did all the work. Like he never gave up on that particular incident.
And that,
Like
that's
everything
cool.
didn't happen the way the media gave it to us, and he never stopped. He was the one who went behind, paid for everything for this to even come about.
But
Like you
it ain't-
said.
it's
Like you
slim.
said,
It's
that-
slim though that you see a lot of people of our age, and maybe even younger, watch that type of film. We got talent that come out of Jacksonville. Like we had the Blue Power Ranger. He was from Jacksonville.
Yep.
Oh, I ain't know that. Old
Shout
boy
out
used
to the
be
Blue
wild.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, he was the Blue Power Ranger.
Okay.
But we got a few talents, man. It's a lot of
He's
right
dressed
now
up
to
in a little
piggyback
Power
off of you when
Ranger
you're talking
suit.
about people
Yeah.
that do
Oh.
film and all that. It's a lot of people that's doing
Yeah, like,
production
shout out to,
photographs and stuff, and they're
shout out to
snapping
one of
and
my
doing their thing.
classmates.
But it's all about
Wiley Watkins.
my cousin. In fact, he got his bachelor's in directing and stuff. But he said he even told me he got to get out of Jacksonville because he's never gonna make it here. You know, and that's kind of a bad mentality to have. But it's reality that it's hard to make it here because of the support system and we don't yes, bro.
He said
yes.
loaded bar. For y'all who didn't hear,
You
but we're
don't
gonna
get
get out
you
of
don't
loaded
you
bar.
don't get that same
Duval is coming out
energy,
of
bro.
loaded
Like
bar.
in different cities and states, you get that energy of some love and support if you're actually snapping, doing your thing. We got Black Boy Chris who was viral and stuff, but
And
it should be
Jawan
better than
Sweet
that. It's
is
a lot
little
of folks, bro,
Duval's
that's really doing their
cousin,
thing.
And he won, if I'm not mistaken, either an Emmy or an Oscar or a
Oscar.
Grammy.
Yeah.
Was it a Grammy?
Oscar.
I think he won a Grammy. His
Oh, yeah.
cousin Jawan Sweet, little Duval's cousin, for I think scoring a movie. And then I think the guy from here is also who played Tupac in the movie. He either went to Lee High School.
Yeah,
the
he
guy
went
who
to
played
Lee, yeah,
Tupac.
yeah.
So we have different people who come
They've
through.
made it out on commercial
We just need you to
success.
come back and revisit the city and help kind of pour back. Yeah.
I don't know, man. They do come back and try to help. Like it was this dude. He's not real big yet, but I can't think of his name. I think it's Keith or something. He a rapper. He gave back during Christmas time with a little drive, and there was so many grateful people out there complaining why they not getting PS4s and stuff like that. And this dude coming out his pocket just had a baby, and he's still trying to give out to the community. And a lot of folks was like, not really. They didn't like that. That's Duval for you, though. And that's sad. It make you feel some type of way. Why give back to ungrateful people?
No.
It make you feel like, well, I'm going to just go give it to somebody who actually appreciate my gestures because I didn't have to do it.
Mm-hmm. To just further that out, that goes back into, again, changing the way we have already framed ourselves in the mind.
Yes.
Like, if we just think about who are we named as significant people to take roles of leadership in terms of our community. We're talking about asking people who left to go make riches to come back and take leadership in our community.
Yes.
I honestly don't think they'd be successful as leaders in our community because they haven't been here in the community. They left.
No,
You know
and that's
what
what
I'm
it takes us, the people who are here,
Mm-hmm.
to create something for them to come back to.
I don't know, bro. I mean,
We can't always say, why won't they come back? What
Right.
are they're going to say, what are you going to do while you're here?
I don't know, bro.
Because there's nothing they can do if they do come back. Because if we won't take the time to stop and listen to each other, what's so different about them once you get them face to face that you're, as a group, we're all of a sudden going to stop and decide to follow up behind them? It's like if Lil Duval came back right now and said he's going to open up a rap label. Do you think everybody in town is going to be trying to jump on the rap label? I mean, the bandwagon jumpers, of course.
Right.
But like for the most part, there's going to be a lot of people who could possibly potentially bring something big to the table with him who will refuse to do it just because the same issues we've already had button heads.
I mean, you gotta look at like I look at Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry was homeless in Atlanta, didn't have anything, and used those plays to come up. And look, and at the end result, when he was done with Medea and done with everything that he sought out to do, look what he did. He built
But I think a
something
lot of
bigger
people
than
would say
Hollywood in Atlanta.
a lot of people would say Tyler. I mean, it's not a popular belief, but a lot of people in the black community I'm hearing believe that Tyler kind of
sold himself.
yeah, by doing the Madea, he kind of
Yeah.
and if you notice, it's never really a strong presence for black men. It's maybe like one or two black dudes who stand up in most of his plays. Most of the time, we're
Half the time
always
they always
the villain.
abuser.
We're
Yeah,
always the
villain, yeah.
beater.
Yeah.
We cheat. We do. It is a lot of truth, but it's a lot of truth that it's some cats out here taking on other people's children and, you know, raising them as their own, and they doing the right thing.
Goes back
Make
to-
movies like that.
Goes back to how we've been trained to view ourselves in that frame. Like once again, like it's all over the media. These things are happening so repetitively that we kind of think it's natural in nature to think like this.
I get it, but I'm just saying.
I
as
mean,
far
me,
as
I
that-
appreciate the fact that he
Yeah,
tried to
as-
use the Lord and try to bring it around full circle. And like they say, it is a lot of truth. A lot of times, men, we got to look in the mirror and check ourselves, African Americans. But
I get it,
Can
but
we
what
get
I'm saying is, okay, Hollywood films a lot in Atlanta. So instead of y'all, okay, cool, I'm gonna make this whole thing us. I appreciate that gesture. He came back. He could have went anywhere else. He don't even stay in Atlanta no more. He stay in Hollywood. He went back to Atlanta and built that big old thing and memorialized it after us. Even though it's some people that we don't really, rock with, Too Tough, Oprah, and certain things that she done did that's kind of questionable, but he did something, he went back to where he came from, where he started, and gave back. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that. So that's still an example of somebody going back and giving
I
back.
mean, like Jay-Z.
Huh.
He went back to Virginia?
See, we ain't even gonna go that far. We ain't
He
even
went back to
gonna go that
Virginia?
Marcy, son.
Thank you, Madam Sage.
far. We ain't even gonna go that far. In terms of giving back,
What's up?
I think we got to start setting the precedence of giving back to ourselves. Atlanta, I keep trying to point this out to people. Atlanta had the opportunity to pop the way it did, not because of the people that we see right now. Because none of those people that we keep naming, the people we see, we're not paying attention to what really made them successful, which isn't themselves, it's the community around them. Like, to get to where they at, to where how we view them, we got them framed in this little box of, they're better or up or leadership worthy or however it is that people interpret it right now. Instead of seeing those same qualities in somebody who you may work with in your own neighborhood, things of that nature, like we're looking for these qualities in people who got money. Like this is how far skewed we are in our frame of thinking. And this isn't just a black community. This has become prevalent in all the communities of America. Like your value as a person is dictated on how much money you make or have and how much you
That's
maintain
America.
yourself.
That's why Trump president right now.
Yes, but
And
that's America.
that's not exactly how we should be viewing ourselves
Everybody wanna be
because
stars,
unfortunately
man.
as a black community that
Everybody
puts
wanna
us at
have
a
money,
disadvantage.
It's not that because
Everybody, I think they want to be
the poor-
famous too, bro.
because of the poor
Lovers of
person.
themselves.
Man, look, everybody that was a leader, you can't say that, bro. Martin Luther King wasn't no millionaire. Malcolm X wasn't no millionaire. All the
talking
people
about
that we
present
looked up
time.
to, I get that. But what I'm saying is, even if they did stand up and say Nipsey wasn't no billionaire,
Yes, he was.
Yes, it was. He was on his way. He had over 800 million.
He was on
cuz.
his way.
He had over 800 million.
But okay, well let this sink in. His rap career wasn't 800 and something million. But what I'm saying was he was a leader and speaker of the streets, and when he spoke up, he was silenced. It didn't matter. That's what I'm saying. The people who do stand up, what could happen? That's an example. Like you said, 800 million couldn't protect him. So $10 an hour ain't gonna protect the next person.
Jay-Z spoke of, he's still protected.
Yeah, because he's the highest level Mason it is. He's in
Nah,
the billionaire
nah,
club.
see. Here
Can we
go.
not bring masonry to this? Because like that has nothing to do with that man's prestige.
No, what we're gonna do is move on to the next question, y'all. But I
Ain't no
think we all
billionaires
agree
club.
If a
With
nigga
that we
rich,
would like to
gotta
see
be Illuminati.
a
That's some
black
nigga shit.
film industry here in Duval. So we want to be supportive of the different kind of black films that are coming to town and coming to the theaters, so that we could, because Duval was once known as Black Hollywood, and I believe that we can have something like that back here again.
We have to create a central hub for ourselves because,
Yes.
like I think you said it earlier, like there's a very poor communication in terms of entities or things that are happening is promoting and marketing. Like it fails to really reach the market. Like I didn't know that there was a concert that just happened this past weekend. I didn't know that concert was coming till probably the week of. Yeah, like I didn't know
But
nothing about that till
That's
the week
what
of.
the problem is because you have so many different mediums in regards to getting information out. If you're not on Facebook, everybody's not on Facebook anymore. A lot of people are on Instagram. A lot of the kids that are falling away from Instagram now, they're just on Snapchat. They like FaceTiming. Nobody really listens to the radio, and a lot of promotions go out still via radio for all the old heads.
Yep.
And you're not as old as some of us, so how do you find out something? Like when you were just saying the ride wave, how did you
Word of
find
mouth.
out?
So I would like to say this. I want to volunteer, excuse the Duval in me, as the platform.
It was the word of mouth.
the black community in terms of information. Y'all need to start checking this show out to get the rest of your information about what's going on in our city, because we definitely going to stay hip to it.